werden mich jetzt beneiden. Ich beneide mich ja schon fast selbst. Wir haben nämlich George Michael hier. Hi George,
Hi.
Welcome to Formula One.
Thanks.
Let's go back a little bit, back to the last single, I Want Your Sex. I mean, there was a big trouble in all the newspapers and magazines, I read about it, and this can't be all. What is the message in the song? What's the message behind?
I think really that the message was, the thing I was trying to put across was just that I wanted to make a very sexy record, which was applying the words lust and sex to somebody that you care about as opposed to a stranger, which in terms of writing about sex, most sex in rock and roll has been seen as being some kind of glamorous promiscuity, and I just wanted to make the difference between the two. I mean, I think it's a very kind of it is a very lusty record, but it's not anything to do with casual sex, and that was the point I was trying to make.
Mm-hmm. So you are traveling around the whole year and you're very busy, you go on tour, everything. Is it very hard for you to have a very close relationship to somebody, to your girlfriend maybe?
Well, luckily enough, I'm in a position where if I want somebody with me, I can have them with me if you know. See, it's just money. Money is one of the things that makes traveling within a relationship much easier, and it's pretty easy. It's okay.
You are always wearing this earring, the cross. Are you religious? Do you believe in God?
No, I suppose it's quite. Maybe it's wrong of me to wear it. I wouldn't say I do or I don't believe in a God. I don't have any religion. I think a lot of religions are very good things, and they provide a lot of hope for people. But this is just a kind of symbol. I actually like the symbol itself and the way it looks. But no, I'm not religious, so maybe I shouldn't be wearing it.
You're a big idol for many people now. Can you think back to your youth? Have you had any idols you were looking up to them?
I didn't really tend to have people as idols. I was obsessive about music and about people's music, but I didn't tend to associate it necessarily. I mean, for instance, I would go to concerts, but I had no wish to see people backstage or whatever, even if I had the opportunity, you know, because there were always ways you can try. But I never really wanted to meet the people whose music I listened to, because I knew that they would just be people. I like to keep the myth going, you know.
Mm-hmm. Do you have problems with fans? You have to hide away or something? Or?
Well, once in a while. I mean, obviously in certain situations it can be really difficult. In other situations I can live, most of the time I can live a very normal existence, but obviously in some days are worse than others.
Also haltet euch zurück. Jetzt aber erstmal wieder Musik. Ein Newcomer aus England, Terence Trent D'Arby, mit seiner dritten Single hat er sich platziert, Dance Little Sister. Have you had any experience which changes your life?
Any experiences? I don't think I've had. I think maybe one or two in my life. Obviously, personal experiences that have changed things. I think one of the more recent ones. One of my sisters was very ill a couple of years back now, well, nearly 2 years back, and that changed my perspective on a lot of things for a while. Because I've been very lucky in life. You know, the people around me, family and friends, have all been healthy, and I think maybe I took that for granted. And for a while there was a chance that she may have been seriously ill, and it shook me up a bit. I think I look at things a little differently in that sense. So that's a recent experience that changed my thinking, maybe. Other than that, I don't suppose there are many things that changed my life drastically. It's had a fairly even pace to it.
Thank you. Ja, schnell mal was anderes. Kurz die Top 10 aus Amerika im Video. Can you remember the biggest misfortune on stage, the most provocative thing ever happened on tour, something like that?
The worst things that ever happened on stage. Well, plenty of bad things have happened. I've fallen over lots of times, but I'm sure that happens quite regularly to most performers. One of the worst things that ever happened, there was a particularly frantic crowd in Australia, I think it was, about 2 years ago, and we had to stop the show at one point because people were throwing things so hard. And they were throwing, people throwing boots and coins and things, and a battery, a Duracell battery, hit me straight between the eyes, and almost knocked me out. That was about the worst thing that's ever happened on stage. But other than that, it's the usual, you know, equipment breaking down, me falling over, just the usual.
So you produce your own songs, you sing them, you write them, you do everything your own. Would you like to produce for somebody else or write songs for somebody else in the future?
In terms of writing songs for other people, that's not a bad idea. The only problem with that at the moment is that I only write, say, 10 or 12 songs a year. Mm-hmm. And at the moment, I still need everything that I write to keep my career going. But maybe as I get older, I'll be a little more prolific and I'll be able to give songs away to people. In terms of production, I don't particularly like it because I feel that as a producer, you have a great deal of responsibility. I mean, somebody can come to you with a song or an ability or a voice, and you have to take that and turn it into a good record. And the way I feel is when I'm producing myself, if I screw things up, then it's me who gets the blame, or it's me who has the misfortune. But with another artist, it's always that kind of responsibility, and you're thinking that you might be. If you make mistakes, it's for them. You're making mistakes for them, which is kind of pressure that I'm not really into. So at the moment, I mean, I've had offers of or approaches for production from various people, and I'm just not interested.
Your new single has, in fact, two parts. The beginning, this organ part, which sounds a little bit like Christmas, and then afterwards, a kind of rock song, a hand jive. You said, why have you done this?
Well, I've always liked the element of surprise, whether it be just by surprising people with a different style of music or actually within the couple of minutes that you have the song. But I thought the idea of having the organ sound was good because it sounded so grand, and it leads people to expect something very kind of, I don't know, maybe serious. And then you have this real light sounding, cheap acoustic guitar sound. I just thought it was a nice kind of, it was a nice way to throw people off balance at the beginning of the record, which is, I don't know, maybe people enjoy it, maybe they don't, but I certainly get a laugh out of it.
Thanks for being here in Formula One.
Thank you very much.
Hope to see you back in May.
Okay, bye.
Wir kommen zu den deutschen Top 10 jetzt.